It doesn't matter what it is, anything that you want to accomplish. If you want something to happen, you need to force it into existence. And that's the only way it's gonna happen. Don't say, tomorrow I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna manifest. That's not gonna do shit. It's not. That's just a bunch of comfortable bullshit. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Must Become. The whole idea behind this channel is that if you have the potential to become something, you must become it. Hence the phrase, what you can become, you must become. Today, again, I'm just kind of going to wing it. I'm going to tell you what's on my mind, what I've been thinking about, what I think is really important as I approach 27. I have this feeling that 27 is going to be a big year for me. I just think with respect to my own development, my own growth, I think it's going to be a big year where I learn a lot of things about myself, about the world, and things that really take me forward into the future. So again, my whole goal is just to document this and share my journey with you guys. So essentially today, the whole topic is going to be the idea of forcing progress and forcing development. I think there's a really important way to think about the way we progress in the world and think about the way we kind of develop. A lot of times, people kind of just hope that one day they'll become this person they want to be in the future. I remember when I was younger, I can't remember the exact age, maybe it was about 10 years ago. I was about 17, 18. And I remember hoping that I was going to become a lawyer. I wanted to become a lawyer so badly, and I figured that, one day I would kind of just wake up and I'd be this, kind of like when you see on Suits, like you'd be this like guy in New York with this crazy apartment, living this crazy bachelor lifestyle, and you're this lawyer, I guess. And it could be whatever you want for you guys. Maybe you thought you'd be some sort of athlete or some sort of actor or something like that. And you hope that one day you're going to wake up and you're in that position. But the reality is, people that end up in those positions, those people like the guys on the show Suits or whatever it is that you look up to or you glorify, you have to understand that the majority of them don't fall into these situations. They don't hope and pray that these situations will happen, and by just hoping and praying, those situations will occur, You have to realize that it's kind of like if you go to the gym, you want to build bigger shoulders, a bigger chest, bigger quads, whatever it is. You don't just sit there hoping and praying that things are going to happen. You need to force the progress. When you do, day after day, you hit the gym and you're running or you're lifting weights, let's take lifting weights as the best example. You're lifting weights and day after day after day after day, you're in the gym, you're having good form and you're recovering properly. Day after day, you don't hope that your biceps grow. You don't hope that your triceps grow. And just by hoping and praying, it happens, right? You realize that you give your progress no opportunity because you forced it into reality. So that's the thing we need to understand. Big mistake I was making when I was younger was, I would do a lot of the manifesting, a lot of the affirmations, that kind of stuff. Those things do help. I believe they do help. But one thing you need to understand, again, and I keep repeating that, by themselves, those things are not going to change you into the guy you want to be. Especially, like I always say, if you want to leave a dent in this universe and you want to be remembered after you die, which eventually we all will, that's another thing we need to come to terms with, the fact that we're all going to die. If you want to be remembered after that point, you have to understand that you need to force that into existence. You need to take actions that are going to actually lead to the result you want. You can't just sit there and every single morning write in your journal, I'm going to become a billionaire, or I'm going to change the world, or whatever it is you want to do. I'm going to become the best athlete, the best in my field. Those things are going to help you, but they are not what actually is going to turn you into that person. At the end of the day, it's work that turns you into that person. One thing that happens, again, a lot of times, is that people begin to do things that they pretend are productive, and sometimes they delude themselves into thinking they're productive. So you might have this, I'm a big proponent of morning routines. I used to be a big proponent of night routines, but I'll get to that in another video. You do all this work every single day, filling out your journal, and maybe it's, stretching or meditating, and all these things are awesome, by the way. I'll have videos on all of these things that are important, again, if you want to become the best version of yourself. But those things are not actually doing the work. If you want to start a business, reading Think and Grow Rich and writing down all the affirmations or whatever your favorite self-help book of choice is, doing those things, that's not going to actually make you that guy. Those things might help you with the precursors to becoming that guy, but you actually need to go out and do the work. And the funny thing is people get so into self-help that, like I said before, they kind of confuse themselves that that's doing the work. You read another book and you read another article, or, you watch something on Instagram, a motivational video on YouTube, maybe even like this one. But I'm here to remind you, which a lot of these gurus will not do. Hopefully this is the precursor. This is what kicks your ass to do the work. But a lot of people have fallen into that kind of trap where they'll do all this self-help stuff and they'll convince themselves that that's actually making progress towards the guy they want to be. And on that note, one really dangerous pitfall, right, when you're trying to force growth, right, when you're really trying to force progress in your life, get that six pack or put on a bit of muscle or shave a few seconds off your sprint time, whatever it is. The reality is that you can't force yourself, you can't lock yourself into a routine that glorifies all the precursors. And that's a really, really important point, guys. That's a really important point. If you want to start a business, right, and you want to, let's say you want to start selling products, right, and in the coming videos I'll get into kind of the business that I'm running, the business that I'm working with, that kind of stuff, and what I do personally. But for now, I'll just use this as an example. If you want to start making a business, and growing a business, and you're reading all these books about how to start a business, reading those books at a certain point is just procrastination. Research becomes procrastination. And I have a few friends, I have one or two in particular that are on my mind. They always make excuses for themselves. They always say, well, anything worth doing should take a while. Well, I'm just still gathering kind of I'm getting my footwork right before I step in the ring. You are trying to feel comfortable. And the reality is you will never feel comfortable until you do it. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, do the thing and you'll have the power. You need to get into the ring and you'll get hit a few times, either literally or figuratively. Get in that ring and then you'll get hit a few times, and that's when you're actually gonna learn. Don't sit here hoping and praying, although those things are valuable in their own way, maybe. Don't sit here hoping and praying you're gonna become this guy that ultimately gets to his last day in the world and thinks to himself, I left a real impact while I was here. Don't hope and pray, because what you should be doing is acting. You should be doing the actual thing. You need to force it into existence. The same way as if you get up and you study mathematics or a language or whatever it is that you want to learn, you study that every single day, you're not going to accidentally be very good at those things. It's going to be an intentional result that comes as a result of your actions. And that's what you need to remember. And so if there's one thing that I leave with this video, it's just that you need to force it into existence. And when you force these things into existence, how you force these things into existence is by taking the actions that that other people have done. Other people may have blazed a trail for you, and they have done these things where they have gotten up every day, they've gone to work, and they've worked for 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours. It's not that they got up and they read their self-help book, and then they wrote their affirmations, they did their manifestations in the mirror. To be honest with you, that's all basically bullshit. The only time that might help a little bit once you're already acting. But these things are so dangerous because they lead you to hoping and praying. Even manifesting and affirming, ultimately those things they're comfortable because they're like this intermediary step where you don't actually take action. And so you don't need to get your toes wet. You don't need to jump into the pool to see whether or not you can swim. You can kind of just look at the water and say, I know I can swim. I know I can swim. I know I can swim. And then you go home thinking that you actually jumped in the pool and you did a few laps, but you didn't. I'll repeat this one last time because you need to understand this. If you want something to happen, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Anything that you want to accomplish, if you want something to happen, you need to force it into existence. And that's the only way it's going to happen. And if by chance something does happen where you didn't have to work for it, you'll lose it like that. You'll lose it. Stop wasting time researching and procrastinating because they're the same fucking thing. Honestly, the best research is done by doing. Okay? Anyway, that's going to be today's video. Remember to always force whatever you want into existence. Stop procrastinating, stop hoping, stop wishing. Force it into existence if you really want it. Be a man of your word, say what you're going to do and then actually do it. Stop. Don't say, tomorrow I'm going to get up and I'm going to manifest. That's not going to do shit. It's not. Being honest with you. That's just a bunch of comfortable bullshit. Force it into existence. I'm going to leave the video there, like I said. Do all the regular shit if you like these videos. Again, I'm just doing this to document things that are going through my mind, things that I'm learning on my way up to what I believe is going to be the male advantage, something that, other YouTube channels have spoken about. I'll speak about in other videos. I'll give full credit to the people who really kind of coined these terms and brought these opinions to light. But I think any guy out there that is in his early 20s, even late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, this shit's for you. This shit's important. This shit's important. I'm truly here to be as honest as I possibly can. So if you want to see more of this content, please like, comment if you want to interact with me, and subscribe because I'm going to be doing more of these videos. If you guys have any questions, any recommendations, anything you want to hear about from me personally or about my views, then please stick around and I'll be happy to share with you. Let's upgrade together and remember that what you can become, you must become. Thank you.